Can a $350 TV actually be good? Yes, very good. And that is because this Toshiba M550 isn't actually a $350 TV, or at least it wasn't at first. I believe that this is the best TV you can get at that price point by far, and I'll explain exactly why, and why I went to Best Buy and I bought this model when Toshiba reached out to us and they wanted to showcase their TV lineup. Now, as you guys know, we get thousands of emails and I have turned most of them down because of their products, but this TV right here came out about a year ago for $800, and now it just dropped to $350, and it is an amazing steal. Now, to be honest, I am a TV snob. I have that huge 4K projector system in my basement. I've bought TVs that are 6-7 times the price, and I bought TVs that were twice as expensive but were not as good for 5 main reasons. And the first one is image quality. So many TVs out there are 4K, but the difference is massive, and this TV actually has local dimming up to 48 zones, which is unheard of at this price point. That means instead of like the cheaper MacBooks where you have a gray screen when you're watching dark content, especially at night, you have much deeper blacks because part of the screen can completely shut off its backlighting, and that greatly increases the contrast and makes the highlights really pop, in particular for HDR. This makes the image much more vivid, it makes it pop, and all the processing is done with Toshiba's Rexa Engine 4K Pro, which was designed and tuned in Japan. As I mentioned, this is a 4K TV, so you have a lot of detail, but with that, Toshiba is using their AI 4K upscaling to bring 1080p content, even 1080p gaming, to look much better, bringing it up to 4K. And it's not just oversampling or simply replicating every pixel, it intelligently detects the colors of neighboring pixels and decides the proper color and detail and texture that you should have to give you near 4K quality. With that, it supports a wide color gamut of over 90% TCI-P3, which means it offers much more colors than a conventional LED TV to give you finer color variations, and it gives you more color depth with richer shades. Now, that is especially important for HDR content, which could be 10-bit, to make it look like it was intended to look, and with that, it supports not only HDR10, but also HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision, so you're covered on all of the fronts. Now, certain applications will support Dolby Vision, while other ones, like Amazon Prime Video, it supports HDR10 Plus, so you really want to have both of these. And with that, if you're watching regular HDR that isn't smart HDR, well, they actually have a function that's called 4K gradation correction, which in real time corrects luminance and colors to give you a great looking HDR image, even if the signal is not proper, and HDR restoration that can bring some of those highlights back down so that it will look its best. And because of this, no matter what kind of signal you're watching, it does look good on this TV instead of cheaper models that can be very flat or have highlights that are just out there where it's pure white, where an SDR image wouldn't have that issue. And now with that, this TV also has really wide viewing angles because the front panel is really nice. Same thing with the LCD panel. So if you're sitting on the side, it still looks good. And you probably noticed that the bezels are very slim on this TV. Most budget TVs will have really thick bezels because it's cheaper, but because this is a much nicer one and the price point has come down, you get that super slim bezel all around, which makes it look nice and clean and modern, and it's less distracting from what you're trying to watch. It also has Ultimate Motion 120 Hz, which is great for games that will smooth everything out, along with sports. And with that, you can actually dive into the menu and you can turn it off for things like watching movies if you want it to run at 24 frames per second. And you have a lot of different settings, so you can adjust how much the dynamic tone mapping and other software options are using to get the best image that you like. And for gaming and sports, there's dedicated modes modes that can easily optimize for that, and the game mode can turn on automatically, which will reduce latency. Now, other than the picture quality, there's some other reasons why this TV really stands out, and the first one is sound. It supports multiple Dolbys, including Dolby Atmos and DTS, which means that the sound is optimized, and for most TVs that are at this price point, the speakers really suck. This one has really powerful speakers that surprised me with surprisingly good bass, because once again, it wasn't designed as a $350 TV. Go ahead and take a listen. Now, the next thing that really stands out and surprised me is the build quality. When I took it out of the box, I was happy that they had great padding all around, so you're not touching the display, and the build quality is really great. The main top portion of the back panel is solid metal, and then the bottom portion is high quality plastic, and we do have a VESA mount built into the TV. And not only that, but the legs themselves are made out of metal. They're not plastic. And where they install, the whole frame portion of that is also metal instead of being plastic for other TVs at this price point. And it also has a bunch of inputs. We actually have a LAN port, optical out, a headphone jack, as well as a USB port, 4 HDMIs including ARC, and some legacy connections. And one thing that I really appreciated is that the legs actually have cable management built into there, so you can route your cables without them hanging off the back or having to use tape. Now, this TV also supports Bluetooth and dual band Wi-Fi, so you can have a fast connection. And not only does it come with the Fire TV Smart Remote, but it also comes with an IR blaster that you can connect to it just in case you have it hung up, so that you can get a proper signal. Now, setting this thing up was incredibly easy because it does use Fire TV. I was able to use my smartphone to connect to my Amazon account, and I was just logged in. That makes it very simple. And then I could select the additional apps that I want to use because it's a smart TV and it just downloaded and installed it automatically. It also comes with a basic mode if you don't want the full experience, but switching to the full mode, you have access to live TV, thousands of channels. Of course, it runs Alexa, so if I say it right now, you guys see that it pops up right there. And so you can use it as an Alexa device to have things show up on it, and that is very handy. You can control your smart home. And the remote also has a microphone built in, so I could just say, open Amazon Prime Video, and it's gonna pop up and open up that app without me having to go home and navigate through all of that. Now, if you don't want to use the remote, or like what happens at my house, the kids are using it, it gets misplaced, it gets lost, well, the microphones are far field, so it can hear you from a further distance, and if you have music or kids in the background, it could still hear your voice. So I could say, Alexa, play Peripheral on Prime Video, and bam, it is playing that show. Even though I never played it on this TV yet, I was playing it at home. So everything is tied in with the Amazon Fire TV setup. Now, along with the apps that I mentioned, we also have the free channels, which you can watch free TV. Of course, you can go in and you can download other apps and applications. And because it's tied into Amazon, you have Amazon Music, I have my photos, which I back up there, you have an internet browser, and you don't have to use the apps that are built in. Of course, you can stream to it, including being able to use AirPlay. So if you have a lot of Apple devices like I do, you can pair it up one time and then be able to play your content, like I have Dave Lee playing right now, his new laptop video, or other things, just like screen sharing, photos, and things like that. Now, Toshiba TV is actually running a giveaway until December 18th to celebrate the FIFA World Cup. There's only a few steps that you guys have to do to enter to win an Amazon gift card, and all of that will be down below along with the link to the TV. So overall, if you're looking for a TV that is not expensive, and one that's gonna have an amazing picture with really good sound and great smart features. You cannot beat this Toshiba M550. I like the 50-inch, 55-inch size. It's gonna be going to my basement when that is remodeled and set up. And you guys go ahead and check it out using the links down below. Click above to subscribe. Check out our other videos right over there. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next one.